On the historical occasion of the return from Italy of one of Ethiopia's most prized possessions, the Axum Obelisk, I am pleased to have the opportunity to take the time to celebrate and appreciate the cultural importance of this moment to Ethiopia and the world. I put together this PowerPoint presentation, and I will start with some pre-Axumite civilization history. Then I will discuss about the Axum Obelisk itself, followed by Italy's role in its removal, and then I will discuss the fight for its return and final arrival with a look to the future. Here you see the skeletal remains of the truly first human being found about 3.5 million years ago in what is now known as Ethiopia. The world calls her Lucy, but her Ethiopian name is Dinkanesh, which means thou art wonderful. We see the beginnings of a pre-Axumite civilization in the northeast part of Africa, referred to as Punt, Kemet, and Kush, spreading its influence throughout the Mediterranean, Middle East, and Indian subcontinent. Evidence of trade relations are found throughout the surrounding areas as far back as 3000 BC. The official dates of the Axumite kingdom is 100 BC to 900 AD and was compared by historians to the great civilizations of Rome, Persia, and China. Here are some of the items Axum exported. And here are examples of the import trade. Of course, Axum is the home of the legendary Queen of Sheba, whose liaison with the Hebrew King Solomon started the long reign of emperors of Ethiopia, right up to His Imperial Majesty Haile Selassie. We can still see signs of her palace and swimming pool in Axum today. As you may know, Axum is also the home of the Holy Ark of the Covenant, which Moses brought carrying the 10 Commandments given to him by God on Mount Sinai. Here is the church which has housed the Ark since it was moved there from an earlier home at a monastery on Lake Tana, the source of the Blue Nile. The Ark is guarded by a monk who never leaves it for his entire life. The heritage of the Axum civilization includes an established ancient writing system called Ge'ez, which incorporated many levels of natural philosophy, music, and science. Axum is home to many religious manuscripts, king's crowns, rare minted coins, elaborate silver crosses, venerated religious art, intricate stone sculpture, clay pottery, and brick architecture. And of course the home of the famous Axum Obelisk, which is technically called a stele due to its elaborate carving of doors and windows resembling a multi-story building. This pre-Christian funerary monument, it is said to represent the life force created by the Son, God, symbolizing and mediating heaven and earth, life and death. Modern representations are found throughout the world, used as decorative pieces in cities and gardens, symbolizing beauty, simplicity, and inspiration. Axum is home to a number of great obelisks, the largest of which fell perhaps on erection. Here is a front view of the third largest obelisk still standing. And here is the second largest obelisk of which we are discussing today, as it stood recently in Rome, Italy. Erected in 300 AD, standing at 78 feet and 160 tons, it had fallen during the Muslim invasion in the 16th century and removed to Italy on orders of the fascist dictator Benito Mussolini in 1937. Here is a photo of the tomb's entrance, as it was used as a king's burial site. Late 19th century European colonial aggression was repelled by Ethiopia in the case of Italy in the famous Battle of Adwa. In the prelude to World War II, Italians again seek to occupy Ethiopia, and as you see in these photos, carted away the Axum Obelisk to Rome. Here you see the process of removal by truck, then by ship, and finally by train. Of course, this was very upsetting to people of Ethiopia, as you can see the priests here in mourning. Here is a picture of the stolen obelisk in Rome, where the famous chariot races were held in earlier times. Ethiopia has continuously fought for the return of the obelisk, and here are some of the most recent members of the Obelisk Return Committee. Italy has failed to live up to 3 important treaties and agreements to return the obelisk as listed here. Many methods were used to advocate the return, including commemorative stamps with letters of support from around the world: Egypt, European Union, and Nigeria, to name a few. Even an online petition was circulated with thousands of signatures of support, many from Italian scholars. As Italy's empty promises continued, Ethiopia was confident enough to build a runway long and wide enough to land a plane whose size would be large enough to carry the massive obelisk. Lo and behold, lightning struck the obelisk as if a sign from God that it was time to return it. Here you see the Italians trying to fix the broken pieces of the obelisk in Rome. Supporters of the return redoubled their efforts and held demonstrations, as you can see here Professor Richard Pankhurst of the Institute of Ethiopian Studies. This protest was in London. Again in Washington, D.C., a protest at the Italian embassy, and a combined protest held in London, Rome, and D.C. in 2004. Here is a video clip.
Ethiopia, Africa, and the world have been waiting for 65 years for Italy to return the Axum Obelisk from Rome. All we get are broken promises. You promised in 1947, in 1956, and again in 1997, and we're still waiting. The Axum Obelisk is a heritage of great value, not only for Ethiopia and Africa, but also for all mankind. The obelisk is listed with the United Nations as part of the world's heritage. Italy has allowed the obelisk to be damaged by graffiti and acid rain. And now that lightning has struck it, there are no more excuses.
Ethiopian obelisk now. Return Ethiopian obelisk now. No more problems. We want action. We want action. Axum obelisk belongs to Ethiopia. No more problems. We need our obelisk now. No more promises. It belongs to Ethiopia. Our obelisk belongs to Ethiopia.
ከሚገባ ድረስ የምንተኛበት ወይም የምናርፍበት መንገድ የለም። አሁንም ሁላችን ኢትዮጵያውያን በመተባበር ስለ ሐውልታችን፣ ስለ ቅርሳችን፣ ስለ ክብራችን ዓላማችን እሱ ስለሆነ እስከሚጨረስ ድረስ መነሳት አለብን እና ሁላችን እዚህ ያለ ነው በዚህ ነው የተነሳ ነው። በጣም እናመሰግናለን። ስለዚህ ሐውልታችን መመለስ አለበት ብለን ወደፊት
It is this pressure that finally convinced Italy to return the obelisk to Ethiopia, to the delight of everyone, especially Ato Abibi, who personally witnessed the pillaging. Here we see the extremely technical and delicate dismantling of the obelisk in Rome, and logistically challenging transport to Ethiopia. Transported by the largest cargo plane in the world, the Russian Antonov 124. After a nervous landing, careful unloading, and some heavy lifting, the priest's prayers are finally answered, and the townspeople are ready to celebrate. Here is a wide view photo of the obelisk field and a close-up view of the installation site. The United Nations Education and Scientific Organization has recently discovered new burial tombs on the site. As activities are underway for the re-erection of the obelisk, with an expectation date of late 2006, we have the expectation of increased tourism and interest in this mysterious and little-known but powerful kingdom of Axum. For further information on the return of the obelisk and other demands for cultural materials, including the first plane of Ethiopia and Ministry of Ethiopian papers, go to the following websites. Thank you very much for this opportunity to celebrate the return of the Axum Obelisk, and I can send you a personal copy of this presentation if you contact me at andrew@ethiopianculture.org.